And hello, everyone. Welcome to X-Smarks with Rick the Hammer. I am your host, Chriz, aka the Mole. And joining me this week is James Phoenix.
Hello.
And Marcus Shadow.
Are you ready?
And yeah, a couple of little small changes coming with just in the next two mainly, and then you'll notice them every pay-per-view. But next one will feature Rick the Hammer back, so you'll see what I mean. But yeah. This is the review / look at NXT Takeover Respect. But before we go into that, it's time for what happened in this week, basically. And we're going to be giving 2 awards to various stuff throughout the week, be it match, promo, anything we like. So first with their award will be James Phoenix.
Okay. So for my first award, this award is effectively I'm using it as a promo of the week because I really like this promo, and this comes from Raw, and it's Stephanie McMahon backstage with the New Day, and she's texting somebody, and the New Day comes in clapping and doing all their dancing and telling Stephanie to feel the power, and she just stares cold death at them, and they kind of like they just stop looking sad and trying to cheer up. And she's like, no, I don't want to hear it. And then Woods goes to play the trombone, and Stephanie's like, if I hear one note from that trombone, I will send you somewhere that will make Suplex City look like Disney World.
Yep.
And then she told them they were going to fight the Dudley Boys in Hell in a Cell, and they were not happy.
Yep, which means what people listening can take from this is basically Stephanie and Triple H watched back like a week or two ago when they danced with the New Day and thought, oh god, no, we may look weak here. Quick, how can we stop this?
Pretty much.
That's literally how I think this promo went. Well, Stephanie, what if you're on the phone and you completely ignore them but make a point of saying that you're better than Brock Lesnar and you will destroy them? Good idea,
Perfect.
good idea.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But yes, I like that promo.
Nice. And Marcus Shadow.
All right. Well, first of all, it should be noted that I watched Raw with Rick the Hammer this week. When he came over, I just tossed it on, because Hulu. So the first award
you watched the crappy cut-up version.
Pretty much, yeah.
Fair enough.
But
I preferred it better when it was called Bottom Line.
Oh, nice. I've heard it was called AM Raw.
Same thing.
But yeah, so my first award. Let's see here. I'll just go with what I have written. They both come from the same match. The first one I call Vintage Orton. And it was Richter who actually noticed it first while we were watching. He was like, wait, what? And then busted out laughing. When Orton got tagged in against Braun Strowman, got hit him up against the ropes, went up to him, just kind of looked down and was like, okay, you're fucking big. And then just nonchalantly poked him in the eyes. We were like, wait, what? What just happened here?
And if you're listening, Rick, I heard it too. The week you're not here is the week they actually validate you. I heard it too. Poor Rick.
Ha.
But no, that was a cool moment.
Yeah, it made us laugh. Because it was like, wait, did he just poke him? Wait, what?
And my first award, Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
And that's because Big Show came out and got his ass kicked yet again by Brock Lesnar as the opening. Why did I call it Attack of the Clones? Because last week I gave their match a promo, or last week I gave their match an award, and it was called Phantom Menace. So this is the sequel, Attack of the Clones. Boom.
Nice.
Thank you. But yeah, that happened again. I'm like, really? You could have just sold his injuries. You could have got the same point across if he'd just sold his injuries at that event.
Yeah. I also had to kind of question the fact that Lesnar just nonchalantly picked Big Show up and F5'd him. I'm like, really? No struggling whatsoever. Now you can tell he was struggling when he tried to do the spin into the F5 because he didn't get quite the air and the momentum that he normally would get. But picking him up, he just was like, fuck it, doom. And I'm like, wait, what? But forget it.
Did you not see that match at the?
No.
He did the same thing during that too. It's just like, boom. It's to show Brock's all powerful. He's literally that powerful. He can just scoop him up with no effort. And I'm okay with that because, well, someone like, say, Cena or someone else may struggle lifting Big Show. Someone as unstoppable as Brock, and he's meant to be this unstoppable monster, it sort of feeds into his character to just go boom onto his shoulder. Nope, that was nothing.
It does, but it just, I don't know, it just left kind of a bad taste in my mouth when people like the world's strongest man struggles to lift the Big Show, but Brock just nonchalantly tosses him up on his shoulders. I'm like, really? Really? You're just going to invalidate the world's strongest man? And before you say it, I know right now he's not, but back when he was a world's strongest man and he like fought the Big Show and stuff, he still struggled to get him up for the world's strongest slam. And it's like, but Brock just fucking tosses him up there. I'm like, no.
Yeah, but if you're going by that, they've had the world's strongest man in a steel cage, and he's not been able to do any much with the door. Kane's come out and ripped the door off.
Yeah.
It's wrestling logic.
Yeah.
They just need Brock to be as unstoppable as they want.
In all fairness, it doesn't even much about the world's strongest man when we clearly demonstrated that he could not fight his way out of a glass pod.
Yep. But Goldberg can punch.
Exactly.
If they wanted to make Brock unstoppable, instead of making him seem like stronger than the world's strongest man, they should have had him just in the match just take the fucking knockout punch and not even flinch.
But I would also make the point. I would also make the case when Mark Henry was the world's strongest man, Big Show weighed 500 pounds. He's less weight now.
I was well over 7 feet tall.
True.
Yeah, he was like 7'2", 500 pounds. Now he's like 6'9" and 400 pounds.
Yeah.
So apparently that extra weight was just hair.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he's still over 7 feet tall.
He's close. He's not over. But it varies, yeah.
Yeah, but he used to be 7'2", and now he's not. It's like,
yeah.
What's happened?
Same thing that happened to Crash Holly's 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, Big Show died.
No. Nice.
Taking his way their second award will be James.
Ooh, okay.
Well, we keep the same order.
Fair enough. So, award numero dos. Again, I don't have any catchy award titles this week. I'm sorry. But I thought this was rather important to mention here. But earlier this week, we were in the form of a video. We received information on the DLC and Season Pass for WWE 2K16.
We did.
As well as the digital deluxe editions, which you can pre-order now on the PSN and the Xbox Live. So here's what's going to be included in this stuff. First of all, obviously the accelerator, as they do every year. That'll unlock everything except the DLC. That's $1.99. There's something new this year called My Player Kickstart,
Which seems stupid.
for PS4 and Xbox One, and this will basically give players instant access to boost created superstar ratings and attributes in the My Career mode.
Yeah, but like I said, that's stupid.
Yeah, that seems stupid.
That'll be
The whole point of My Career mode is to get you through, so when you actually have those high stats, you're used to playing it.
Yep.
This literally makes you skip NXT, and NXT is pretty cool.
Yes, indeed. That's going to go for $9.99. We will have the Legends Pack coming out this year. That'll be for $8.99, and that's going to include the Big Boss Man, Dusty Rhodes, Lita, Mr. Perfect, Roddy Piper, and Trish Stratus.
Cool.
That'll be for $8.99. Then there will be an additional showcase. There will be an additional showcase this year, and it'll be the 2015 Hall of Fame showcase.
Is it wrong when you say that? Part of me just thinks, is Big Boss Man in the same caliber as the others? And I like Big Boss Man.
Yeah, you do have a point.
He has to be there to invade Big Show's father's funeral.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2015 Hall of Fame. What's that?
We want nails.
Ah, yes. The 2015 Hall of Fame Showcase matches included in this will be Macho Man Randy Savage versus Jake the Snake Roberts, Rikishi versus The Rock, Alundra Blaze versus Paige, Larry Zbyszko versus Arn Anderson, Tatsubi Fujinami versus Ric Flair, the Bushwhackers versus the Natural Disasters, and the Outsiders versus the Harlem Heat.
Which I have to say, that's weird.
Yeah, kind of.
Because some of those are actual feuds that they can draw on. I don't remember Paige versus Alundra Blaze.
No, not really.
I
Then again, I don't remember The Rock fighting Rikishi either. I remember Rikishi working for The Rock.
No, well, led into that match, but yeah, it's a case of with that, it's weird that they have a what if match and definitely at least one what if match.
Yeah.
Are all those legends in the game on the official roster?
They'll probably come with the DLC.
Yeah, they're probably going to be unlockable in
That's
that
what I'm
showcase
saying,
DLC, I would
I
imagine.
didn't remember Alundra Blaze being on the fucking roster.
Well, apparently she is now.
So
That's
wish
kind of cool.
So wish you could rename her.
Yeah, she
Medusa?
needs to be Medusa.
Thank you.
Anyway, then we're going to have the traditional. That's going to be $9.99 for the Hall of Fame showcase, by the way. And then we're going to have the new moves pack, as traditionally is included. That will include more than 30 new moves, including Nikki Bella's Corner Insuguri.
Please don't read all 30.
No, there's only a few here.
Okay.
Including such moves as Nikki Bella's Corner Insuguri, Paige's Avalanche Ram, Kevin Owens' Sidewinder Suplex, Stardust's Standing Crossface Chicken Wing, and Finn Balor's Dragon Sleeper.
Yep.
And that pack will be available for $3.99. This is all American dollars, by the way. Then there will be the Future Stars pack. I don't totally agree with this pack. I agree with most of this pack except for part of it. This will be for $7.99, and the Future Stars pack will include the Matadors, which I don't agree with. I'm sorry. I don't think the Matadors are ever going to be stars. I don't mean any offense to them, but they're just...
Or
they're
are they
nowhere.
future? How long have they been in WWE?
That's the other thing, yeah. But Diego and Fernando. We'll also have Blake and Murphy from NXT, which is nice. And a Samoa Joe.
Nice.
The only reason to get that pack.
Pretty much.
Well, that and to get more teams to boost your tag team division.
Yeah, but Blake and Murphy are not awful. They're not awful. I'll give them credit.
Neither are the Matadors.
No, Matadors aren't awful.
Yeah.
I will say Marcus is right if they're not future. However, I would make the case they are stars, only because every WWE wrestler is called a superstar.
That is true.
Thus, by default, they're stars.
Fair enough. Now, if you purchase that's for $7.99 that pack. Now, if you purchase yourself a 2K16 season pass, that will retail this year for $24.99.
That's dumb.
Which is a savings of more than 20% over the other stuff you would get. That will get you the Accelerator, the Legends Pack, the Hall of Fame Showcase, the Moves Pack, and the Future Stars Pack. So basically everything except the Career Mode boost.
Nice.
And,
Does it say which superstar comes with it?
It doesn't mention a superstar coming with it separately.
Normally there's a superstar they give away for free if you buy the season pass.
Yeah, they didn't mention one, so maybe they're not doing that this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
What they should have done, they should have made that Samoa Joe.
That would have been a good idea.
No,
And
he's
then
too
put
big.
someone else in the feature pack that should, be on the roster.
Yeah.
He's too big because in the past they've been. Don't get me wrong, it's been Paige, which while I love Paige, there is a long portion of people who play the game who don't play as the female wrestlers, sadly. And the year before that, it was like Ministry Taker, which while I love Undertaker, that's just a palette swap.
Yeah.
True.
The year before that wasn't a Biker Taker.
Yeah, because let's face it, there's going to be a lot of people who don't buy the season pass and be like, no, it's too much, but they're still going to buy that Samoa Joe pack if they want Samoa Joe that much.
Yeah.
True.
And it should be noted that if you buy all the pieces individually, they'll retail you $32.95 versus the $24.99 season pass price.
Nice.
Now, something else that you can get interestingly new this year is you can get yourself a 2016 Digital Deluxe Edition if you pre-ordered on the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live.
Yep.
Now, For the PS4 and Xbox One versions, for $89.99 will be the pre-order price, and that will get you the game, the season pass, aforementioned, for $25, the Kickstart bonus for your career mode, and a PlayStation 4 theme if you get the PS4 version.
Yep.
$10 less at $79.99 is the PS3 version. I will note there is no mention of there being an Xbox 360 version of this. The PS3 version at $79.99 basically gets you the same stuff minus the career boost.
Yep. Which does look pretty cool.
Indeed.
There is, but I have to find it now, damn it. But yeah, there is a better version than that, though, if you live in the UK.
Oh, what's the UK version?
We get something called the Stone Cold Edition.
Nice.
Are you intrigued yet?
I'm intrigued.
But isn't Stone Cold the cover guy?
Because what this comes with is a copy of 2K16 video game.
Mm-hmm.
You also get access to 2K16's global pre-order offer of the 2 playable Terminators. You
Nice.
get a pack of Slam Attacks, then, now, and forever trading card games, the Season Pass, and a limited edition collectible Stone Cold Steve Austin pop vinyl figure.
Nice.
Lucky. I'd totally pre-order that version if it was available here, just for the pop vinyl. And for the cards, too.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Really?
Right.
Well, you don't like Austin that much, so that makes sense.
It's not, well, one, there's that, but B, I only pre-ordered this collector's edition, like I mentioned with the Hulk Hogan one or the Undertaker one and stuff. I never pre-order them to get all the collectible stuff. I do it so I get the extra character. There's no extra character. So I'm like, well, fuck it.
Yep, as a note, if you're across the pond and you want to get that version, it's exclusive to game, and it's only on the Xbox One and PS4 versions. The 360 and PS3 will not have that.
Yeah, which I was explaining that.
Fair enough.
And you hadn't even heard about it until I mentioned it. Boom. But yeah,
Boom.
the other thing was, with that, Marcus, I bought a Stone Cold Edition like 3 or 4 years ago to get his ATV version. Because I'm like, it gives me an extra version. Cool. If it had come with an extra Austin version, that would be the version I'd buy. But if it doesn't come with anything extra in game besides the season pass, fuck it.
It comes with the Ringmaster.
I like the Ringmaster.
Fair enough.
If it came with Ringmaster and Ted DiBiase, I would purchase it. I'm sad Ted DiBiase's not in the game. He was a big part of Austin's career.
He was.
But yes. Time to go over to Rick the Hammer, our old host's version of the $1 Million Man, Marcus Shadow. For his second
By the way, I will just mention that if they put in a cut scene in the Austin mode, if there's a cut scene of you getting fired by Eric Bischoff over the phone, I will give them all the money.
To be fair, Bischoff didn't make the call. You need to watch Legends with JBL.
Apparently I do.
Because as he even mentioned on there, he didn't make the call. It was someone who worked for him, and it was because of something Austin had done. And it was all because of how Austin was. And Austin himself, in Austin's own podcast, said, yeah, I would have fired me too. And Bischoff mentioned he understands why Stone Cold and JR tell those stories, because it gets some massive props with WWE. Because it's anti-WCW. So like, yeah, okay. So, and he's like, I understand. I'd do the same thing. But yes, I believe I said over to Marcus for his second award.
Yeah. So my second award, again, from the same match. I call it the Minor Inconvenience Award. And it was for Orton about to give chase out of the ring when Harper came in behind him. And Orton just kind of reached back, RKO, and then just, instead of standing up, reached forward, grabbed the ropes, and just pulled himself out of the ring without even blinking. It's like, oh, is that someone on my shoulder? Kadoom! And just leaves. It's like, wait, what? Nice. Like, Orton gave no shits. He was just like, you're nothing to me. You don't exist to me. Get out of my way. I was just like, okay.
Nice.
Who did he do that to?
Luke Harper. Because I think he was giving chase to, like, Bray Wyatt or something to keep him out of the ring so, you know, Reigns could win the match. And, like, Harper had, like, knocked Reigns down and then went to try to do something to Orton. He like grabbed him from behind, and Orton, I think, barely glanced behind him, but you know, just kind of realized, okay, yeah, Harper's got his hand on me, and he just, without looking back, just reached back, grabbed Harper by the head, and just dropped into an RKO, and then just grabbed and pulled himself out of the ring without getting up. So the way he did it, it looked like he was just reflex RKO and just just not giving a shit. It's like, nope, you're a jobber.
Nice.
I'm the new face of Desolate.
Pretty much.
Nice.
I was like, I've never seen Orton do that before. Just the no shits are given RKO.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And my second award, I called it Faith of the Heart. And that is for Natalia. Shush, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
People are giving awards. And that was for Natalia versus Paige. Because I really liked that match. That was my match of the week. I really did like that match, and it's great to see Natalia back on TV, and she won. And it's like, cool, we get to see Natalia.
When was
She's
that
back.
match?
That was on Raw.
Oh, they cut that match.
That was the cut match. That's why you shouldn't watch crappy Hulu versions.
Well, some of us have to work, Jim.
It's called the DVR, dipshit. Go buy one.
I'd also
don't
make
see
the
you with
case
DVR.
Jim works.
Yep, and I'll see you with the DVR.
No, because I get home in time to see most of Raw, and then I don't worry about the shit that I didn't see.
Which, it's fine. Doesn't matter if it was cut or whatever. But yeah, like I said, it was my match of the week because it was the only match on Raw I really liked. But
I don't know.
it was, like I said, Natalia v Paige. Natalia looked great, and that was a solid match. And yeah,
Nice.
it's cool seeing her back.
Cool.
Indeed.
So now,
But does that mean the former tag team champions Tyson Kidd will be back soon?
we don't know. But after that, we now move on to NXT Takeover Respect.
RESPCT.
This was a great pay-per-view.
It was a great
special.
pay-per-view.
What was that, Jim?
I said it was.
It was great.
Live only on the WWE Network, which is $9.99.
Yeah, fair enough. I will admit I was not impressed by this.
Really?
I'd mentioned that too, Jim. Considering half the matches on it were like, eh.
I thought they were all pretty good matches, but fair enough.
Yeah, I thought most of them were pretty solid matches.
Like, we start with one of the matches I found the team of Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, the Mechanics, I think they're called, versus Finn Balor and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, this match was okay. It wasn't that great.
Yeah, this is one of the matches. One of the big problems with this, and it's the same I will mention in the next match, was because I already knew who was going to win. It just felt like they were going through the motions, at least on my end. I was going through the motions to just get to the actual match of what they were leading to, and I'm like, come on, just get this out the way. But I know some people may like this match.
It was still pretty good. They did a good job building up the attacking of Finn Balor's leg to set up the storyline for the evening. That was pretty good.
Yep.
Like I said, this match was. I have to agree with all. This match was kind of eh. It wasn't a terrible match, but it was just kind of there. It wasn't anything really special, which is saying a lot considering you have Finn Balor and Samoa Joe in the match.
Yeah, I thought this was okay. But it was the semi-final of the the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament, so like I said, I didn't expect much from it. It wasn't that good. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't terrible, but it just felt like for me at least.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I know Jim likes it, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Not the best match of the night by any means, but I thought it was an acceptable match.
Fair enough. Which, I mentioned that because Finn Balor and Samoa Joe win.
Mm-hmm.
And the next match is Baron Corbin and Rhino against Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. I had to look their names fucking up to write that down in the note and make sure.
Just call them the new world's greatest tag team.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, these guys remind me of the world's greatest tag team, and they weren't terrible.
No, but I think if you listen during this match, they remind the crowd too. Because were you listening to the crowd during this match?
I tried to.
There was a point during this match in the crowd when what was the dude's name? Something Gable.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Gable. Where Chad Gable's in the ring, and you distinctly hear the audience, and they're chanting for Chad Gable, but they're chanting it as follows: Chad Gable. Chad Gable, Chad Gable. They literally chanted his name in Kurt Angle's theme music for like 5 straight minutes. It was hilarious.
Nice. Yeah, this was another one I found to be because it seemed to be just another stepping stone to the inevitable Baron Corbin, Rhino v Finn Balor and Samoa Joe.
Yeah. And did I not say last week, did I not say at some point earlier, I don't think it was last X-Marks, but at some point before we watched it, did I not look at the match lineup and say, okay, well, obviously Finn Balor's team and Rhino's team are going to the finals?
Yeah, I think everyone predicted that. Anyone with eyes predicted that. But
Yeah.
that was way too obvious. I've been predicting that, and I've been like, and it happened. I'm like, oh, great. It's more predictable than the main roster stuff.
Yep, I did say I did enjoy this match though more than the first one.
Yeah,
because the new world's greatest tag team actually surprised me. I'm like, okay, who are these guys? I came out, I'm like, okay, they look like the world's greatest tag team. Let's see if they can actually wrestle that well. And they weren't half bad. I was impressed, and Rhino and Corbin made them look good. So it was a decent match.
Wait, Rhino and Corbin made them look good? I thought they made Corbin and Rhino look good.
Well, maybe Corbin, but Rhino made everybody look good. Because Rhino.
That was my point, because Rhino.
Well, no, just because he was the veteran of the match, so he it was his job to make everyone else in that match look good.
Indeed.
And like I said, Corbin wasn't terrible. I expected him to suck balls. He did not suck balls.
I will say that is true to a certain degree, but I will put it to you, Marcus. Did Kevin Nash make CM Punk look good?
No, but Kevin Nash can't make Kevin Nash look good.
But he was the veteran, and Kevin Nash is a better wrestler than Rhino ever was.
Yep.
Fair enough. Also, not many people can make CM Punk look good because CM Punk already looks good.
Fair enough, I suppose. But yeah, it's a case of this match.
Yeah. I was impressed with Jason and Gable. Look, they seem to do a really good job in the match. I like they're going with the good old school mat wrestling, technical side of the techniques, and I thought that was really cool to see that against the more brawling style of Corbin and Rhino.
Yeah, they worked well with Corbin and Rhino. I think that was the other thing too. Is those two teams actually had chemistry, whereas the previous match I didn't feel there was as much in-ring chemistry, and the match suffered because of that.
That's also one of the problems with that match. As you mentioned, Jim, they were more technical and speedy compared to the other two. That's literally what Finn Balor and Samoa Joe are against them. Therefore, by the end of the night, this match is an afterthought.
Fair enough.
But then we move on to Dana Brooke with Emma against her opponent, the debuting Asuka.
This was my match of the night.
Which I wanted to call her. When I saw her name and how they'd named, I kept wanting to call her Asuka.
I did too.
It's spelled Asuka, and I'm like, okay, Asuka. But like, no, it's Asuka. Okay, that's how you. Okay, why not?
Well, supposedly she took the name from famous Japanese women's wrestler Lioness Asuka.
And that's how you pronounce it in Japanese. It is Asuka.
Yeah, but they're not using the Japanese lettering. They're using it in English.
Yeah, but that's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Which is my point. That's very close to example Ahsoka from Star Wars.
That is true.
And it's like I can't not see Asuka, but yeah, I love this match too.
And
awesome. I will say this match did something I didn't want it to.
Oh.
It upstaged the actual Divas title match, or the women's title match.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it did. Now, I
Yeah.
will say that the main event, the Divas Time match, that deserved to be the main event. It was a hell of a match. But this match, the Asuka match, I felt was a better match. And I enjoyed it.
I also love the fact Asuka did something not even the guys can do, and she chained how many fucking submissions, one after the other, perfectly without breaking them. Even Daniel Bryan fucks that up.
Yeah, she was fucking smooth. She was fast. She was smooth and technical.
Yeah,
and I heard, and I think maybe I heard it from Jim. I can't remember who told me. I think it may have been Jim, that she's infamous for being stiff in the ring.
That wasn't me.
Okay, maybe that was Molden. Someone said that she's.
I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
Well, one of you two, somebody said. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
That's probably Richter.
Except
it definitely wasn't me. I didn't even see the pay-per-view until yesterday when you weren't even here.
No. I'm not talking about the pay-per-view. Just talking about Asuka in general. After it was announced she was coming over and stuff, it's like, yeah, she's kind of stiff in the ring because coming over from Japan and whatnot. So, watching this match, I'm like, she didn't look stiff at all. She wasn't stiffing anybody.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
This was a good match. I enjoyed this match, but the problem to me is that I think hurt the match, and it's no fault of her own, because I think it's just the matter of the differing styles. I felt like Asuka's wrestling style didn't mix all that well with Dana Brooke's wrestling style, and it felt like basically Dana Brooke was just waiting to be hit with the next move.
Yeah, I felt she was probably waiting to be hit by the next move. I think it was probably because of the debut, because this was basically a showcase or a spectacle of what she can do. It's like when they put someone in the ring with Brock, they're just waiting for the next suplex.
True. It just seemed to me like she was waiting for Asuka. Asuka was in, hit some strikes and whatever, and and it also felt like it was fast, and there kept being breaks in there, like strike, break, back up, submission, break, back up, strike, submission, back up. And it was a different. It's just not the style of wrestling I'm used to. She wrestles differently than I'm used to seeing a lot of people wrestle, and I think it's going to take me a little time to get used to that. It was new to me, and I wasn't totally with it yet.
I think the other thing too with Asuka that I really liked about this match, which you're starting to see more of now with the newer talent, but still not a whole lot. She was a showwoman, and she knew how to work the crowd. So not only was she good in the ring and very technical and smooth, but she also knew what to do on like the storytelling side and, like I said, on playing up the crowd and stuff. And it's just like, wow, she's like the total package. This is awesome.
Yep, she was pretty awesome. I wouldn't call her the total package yet until we hear her give a promo.
That's true. Well, aside from the promo part, yeah, that's going to be her one big weakness, just because language barrier. But aside from that, just in terms of in ring, she's the total package in the ring. If you don't, because promos usually out of the ring, they do in ring too, but
yeah,
because everything from like her entrance, the way she held herself, and what she did during her entrance, to how she carried herself in the ring and playing up the crowd and taunting Dana Brooke and stuff like that. It's like, that's how you work the crowd. That's how you tell the story in the ring.
Yeah, and she might be good at doing promos.
Oh, a few times I've heard her talk. It's like, okay, yeah, English definitely isn't your first language. That's going to be an issue.
Yeah, but, like I said, she might be when they give her a chance later on. We don't know, and even if she's not, just give her a mouthpiece.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do.
Like, imagine her managed by Paul Heyman. Boom, done.
That'd be interesting. Also, if you're going to make the point about, she needs to overcome a language barrier, need I remind you of the two men who were sitting in the front row during this match? I
didn't say overcome. I just said that's going to be her weakness. Is because of the difference in language. It's going to be hard for her to cut a decent promo.
Again, I point to you, Hideo Itami does okay in the promo, but I point to you that the other guy in the front row not only, worked around the language barrier, but became SmackDown's #1 announcer.
I would point out to you, he only got over by racist stuff of he speaking broken English and being dubbed. Yeah. That's not good promoing, Jim. That's racist.
Well, no, that was the Indeed stuff
also-
early on, but later on when he was on SmackDown as an announcer, he actually did interview people, and it was cool.
He did. I watched SmackDown, but he also introduced himself. Hi, I am #1 announcer. That's broken English.
I would also put to you Funaki is probably American,
Really?
unlike the other two. I mean, he's obviously Japanese, but he's probably more American than they are.
Yeah, because he's been there a while now.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he was there long enough, and he, was able to pick up the language better. It's just he never had to speak because, the racist dubbing, which was hilarious.
But one of
It was great to see Funaki too. I was like, yes, Funaki.
Yeah, if that's all Funaki, I'd like seeing Funaki too.
One of her problems with the promos, she can speak English. We've heard her speak English. Her problem is cutting promos in English for one simple reason. She came from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Even Jericho mentioned a while back, while he went to New Japan Pro Wrestling after he'd been to, I think it was Mexico or somewhere like that, and he was like, and straight away when he got there, completely different, is they don't give a shit about promos.
Ah.
So he was doing everything but the promos there. So it's like she hasn't learned the style of promos, which the NXT does have that thing where it teaches them to cut promos, where they can do it in front of a green screen and watch their footage back and decide what to do. So she could be fucking amazing. She could end up being Gail Kim, but actually going somewhere.
Yeah, that could be good.
Awesome. Yeah.
So just for the record, Funaki was born in Tokyo and trained there, but he lives in San Antonio now. Yeah, where he owns and operates Funaki Dojo.
Which I don't know what that proves.
I'm just saying, I made the point you were right. Yeah, he lives and does everything in America now, so yeah, it's natural that his English promo skills will be better than the others.
Of course he does. He didn't fly out to see NXT Takeover.
He probably did. That's in Florida. He's in San Antonio.
Yes, but I'm saying he didn't fly out from a different country.
Well, no, obviously.
That was kind of obvious, but yeah, the next match.
Wow, here's a fun fact. Along with Japanese and English, Funaki is also fluent in French, German, Portuguese, and Spanish.
Nice, you need to have a language off with Cesaro. But yes, the next match is Tyler Breeze versus Apollo Crews.
I love this match.
Okay, I was going to say, another match I found
I love this match. I thought this match was awesome.
To me, this was basically Tyler Breeze has to sell stuff to try and make Apollo Crews look good, but really we know Tyler Breeze is the better wrestler. It's literally Omar Johnson v. Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Or Ryback v. Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. And I agree with that, but I thought it was a really good background. Not only did Crews look good, I thought that Tyler Breeze looked really great in the match, too. Some of the comebacks he was pulling off, the reversals, the back and forth, it was just a really great match. And I don't normally do this, and Richter, I'm sorry, but I kind of have to include Corey Graves. The NXT commentary team did a great job the whole night, but specifically during this match, when they were talking up how, Tyler Breeze is the guy who's been here since day one of NXT, and all these others, like people like, Kevin Owens have come and gone above him, gone up to the main roster, and Tyler Breeze is so stuck here. He's got something to prove. He's got to show that he can, get back in that NXT title picture to prove that he can be the man. And they really put him over and made the match just as much about Tyler Breeze as it was about Apollo Crews debuting and doing his thing. So I thought they did a really good job with that. I was really pulling for Tyler Breeze in the match, and I thought he did a great job against Apollo Crews, particularly that one moment where they were outside the ring, and he basically, I think Crews oversold it slightly, but where he tossed Crews, that Crews jump flipped in the air and smashed his spine into the apron. I'm like, ooh!
I will point out, I have evidence to say you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to do this, and I was checking the pay-per-view listings in order, I mentioned the Tyler Breeze match, and Marcus then ends up correcting me with okay, did you mention the Apollo Crews match? Which means he clearly forgot about Tyler Breeze being in this match. Which means Tyler Breeze is an afterthought, and Apollo Crews is what this match highlighted.
Which I could see that being the case, but I personally looked at it as a Tyler Breeze match. I enjoyed watching Tyler Breeze in this match, and I think they need to push him because he seems like a great talent, and I think they need to do some stuff with him.
How has he not been on the main roster yet?
Yeah. Also, Also, I would like to make the point that this is Marcus Shadow we're talking about. He forgets what things he's in.
Yeah, I thought this match was okay, but this match highlights Tyler Breeze. It's one of Tyler Breeze's more unique abilities, and it goes back to what I said about him when I first saw him in NXT back on the first takeover or whatever. When I said this guy reminds me of Chris Jericho.
Agreed.
He's totally the modern Jericho because he has a unique ability like Jericho does of making other people look good.
Yeah,
And he has no problem doing that, and that's what he did tonight with Chriz. He made Chriz look good, so he was the right man for this match because they need someone to make him look good. Well, go with the modern day Jericho, and I think that's why he's still in NXT because they realize his talents could be better suited in NXT, where he can make everybody else look good while still making himself look good. I do believe he deserves a main roster push.
I would still say, despite what WWE tries to convince us with Dolph, even giving him a super kick as a finisher, I still make the point Tyler Breeze is the modern Shawn Michaels, not Jericho. He even has a very similar gimmick to Shawn Michaels' Heartbreak gimmick when he was wearing the tassels and he was doing all the cool stuff. And that's literally what Shawn Michaels always did, is go in the ring and make people look good.
Yeah, that's true.
At least later on in his career. Early on in his career, he was kind of a dick, but yeah.
Yeah, same with Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho himself even had said on his own podcast, yeah, when I was younger, when I started out, I was a total douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But, yeah, which...
Well, he kind of had to be when he was, going around trying to get himself over. People like Goldberg went, "Oh, fuck you don't deserve a pay-per-view match." He kind of had to be a dick to people.
To be fair, Goldberg sold out arenas and stayed on as the top face of a company for how long? How long did Jericho manage that?
Touche.
Whereas Jericho was like, no, don't, WCW misused me. Boo, they were always sticking me in the mid-card. And I was going to, and boo, I had titles like the Cruiserweight and the television title, they're mid-card titles. Goes up to WWE, most intercontinental ones, and had to earn his way to the World Championship. WWE did the same thing with Jericho as WCW. He just doesn't admit it.
Yes, but at the same time, Jericho also, whereas basically in WCW he just kept getting screwed over. In WWE, yeah, he won a bunch of intercontinental titles and things, but he also beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night to become the first ever undisputed champion.
Yeah, after he got to that point of earning it. Jericho himself even admitted when he debuted in WWE, after he interrupted The Rock, that was cool. Then they did fuck all with him for a year to the point where he was begging for his match with China just so he was on TV. Which means I'm pretty sure that's the same.
Fair enough.
I also love on his podcast, I think it was his podcast, but someone asked him about his debut. And he was like, I was a big fan of yours in WCW, and I thought, with the big hype and build-up, you'd make a larger impact coming over. And Jericho, I love Jericho's response because he goes, "Dude, I interrupted The Rock. Was that not impact enough?" I'm thinking, touche, Jericho, touche.
See, I say that could have been a bigger impact if he'd interrupted The Rock and done something, but he interrupted The Rock. The Rock told him to shut up, and he did fuck all for like a year.
Yeah, true. But just that moment, I would make the case Booker T was more impactful.
Mm.
But yeah, he was like, I was hoping you would have done something else on the show, like when The Rock tells you to show up, maybe you do something. And Jericho was like, dude, I was fresh meat coming in off the road. I was enemy coming in trying to make a name for myself in enemy territory, so they didn't owe me anything, and yet they allowed me to interrupt their top guy. That's pretty huge. And it's like, yeah, you got a point.
He interrupted Stone Cold?
Well, The Rock was pretty much the top guy at that point. He was the big, super baby face. I think Stone Cold. I think that's around the time wasn't that around the time Stone Cold was like kept going out for his neck injuries and stuff, and so The Rock was on the rise.
The Rock was on the rise, but he never really reached Stone Cold's level, unfortunately, until later on. it was still The Rock with the sideburns. When The Rock reached it, he got rid of the sideburns.
True. He was at least the number 2 guy, which is still huge.
He is. But
So
yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's a good point.
but that's 1, 2, 3 matches out of 7 that were eh. But luckily,
I thought Breeze and Chriz was awesome.
fair enough. But moving forward but I would make the case, Jim. Wouldn't that still be the same amount of number for you then? Because you thought Oscar's match was eh.
True.
Boom. But yes. So moving on, we actually get
logic.
Yep. Damn me and my ability to pay attention. Jim needs to learn this ability.
That is an ability Mr. Phoenix cannot learn.
Not from a Jedi. But yes.
But yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'll download it by the My Career Booster to boost me to that ability.
Yeah. But the next match was Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, who defeated Baron Corbin and Rhino. This was the matchup that we knew was going to happen. It wasn't that bad. I liked this match. I thought this match could go either way with who would win.
Indeed. Yeah.
Like, part of me half expected Samoa Joe to turn on Finn Balor, like I've mentioned on one of their other tag ones. I kept expecting Samoa Joe to turn on him and challenge him for the title. But it didn't happen. And then, but like I said, it was a pretty good match. It did what Jim mentioned the other one did, of their styles were 2 different ones, but they matched well, because I feel Samoa Joe was the buffer between 2 styles.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And Finn Balor did a great job of selling his leg.
He did.
And the other thing, too, I loved, and this goes also back to the first Samoa Joe Finn Balor match of the night, is I love what Samoa Joe does in both matches, where because he's the veteran coming in, but he's one of those veterans that has that unique ability of making other people in the match look good. And in both matches, he totally put over Finn Balor. Like, he helped Finn Balor sell that injury, but he also made him look good. Like in the first match where he's like, he notices he's injured, and he's like, pin him, pin him, do your thing and pin him. And it's just like,
just
you don't see that a lot.
You do know Finn Balor's not a newbie?
Well, yes, but Samoa Joe is more of a veteran than he is.
Yeah, but I'm saying Finn Balor's been in other promotions and stuff as well. And obviously Rhino has, but in that match. And it's like, people always seem to forget that these NXT talent that WWE claims to make all come from like New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor and stuff.
True.
Mm-hmm.
WWE is literally poaching other people's talent.
Pretty much.
Good job they didn't bring out a Monday Night Wars documentary where they said that's a bad thing. But yeah.
Speaking of which, if you want to hear more about how how ironic it is when a bunch of guys turn around and realize, wow, this looks like the locker room at this indie promotion 6 years ago, watch the Current Table for 3 episode.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a case of with that, it's like that was cool that they're doing that and stuff. And to be fair, WWE was created by raiding people's talent. But it was a case of, it's cool that they're doing that. It's showcasing new people that people won't know from smaller places. And I just thought Finn Balor did an overall great job of just selling injury. He made himself look good.
Oh, he did. He did a great job. And I like the fact that they let him come out in his leather jacket and not as the Demon.
That's what I pointed out to you. I said I loved the fact he came out as Finn Balor, not as the Demon, because he's NXT World Champion. He doesn't need the Demon to get over now. He's over.
Yeah, that was cool. Although I will say, I was a little disappointed he kept his theme song, because that theme song doesn't fit dude with a leather jacket.
I thought it would.
Yeah, I think it works.
Especially when he gets to the turnbuckle and he still does the arms up, so it's with the music. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I suppose that's why they kept it, because like the crowd was doing it too. So it's like, okay, well, if that's what's helps get him over the crowd, that's what the crowd does. That's the Finn Balor thing of like the Randy Orton arms thing. Okay, fair enough. Just to me, the music itself just didn't fit with that look and that entrance that he did up until but even then, it looked weird him doing that without demon mode. I'm just like, I don't know, it felt weird to me.
To be fair, Marcus, you do realize he's used that music more times without Demon than he has with.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like Richter mentioned, that was only his pay-per-view music. Every week on NXT, if you'd been watching it, he actually comes out without the Demon makeup.
Ah.
Yeah, he
Fair
only
enough.
wore the demon makeup with the pay-per-views.
That's like saying, I don't think Triple H's King of Kings music really goes without that elaborate throne, the entrance, all the women, and the Terminator skulls. It's his pay-per-view entrance.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's cool that he's just Finn Balor now, a regular guy. And I'm like, that's cool. He doesn't need that because otherwise, if he used that too long, it'd become a crutch. And I feel they would turn him into like a new boogeyman or something, and they'd have to make him just that constantly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this match. And like I said, Finn Balor and Samoa Joe won. So they won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament.
Indeed.
Which means they got the platinum or silver.
Yep.
Also, I will mention I didn't really like this match. I felt like they shouldn't have reused the same finish. I felt like there should have been some variety in that. I'll just say that.
Fair enough. That is a valid complaint.
Because when I saw Samoa Joe go to the thing, I'm like, oh, they're just gonna do the same thing again. And then Corey Graves was like, this is how they won the first match, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna do okay, it looks really cool. Fair enough. That seems like you could have done something different, but fair enough. Well, it's effective.
Yep.
I understand why they did what they did. I reckon Samoa Joe should have won the second match.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let him slap on a submission. He's the Samoan submission machine. Let him slap one on. Boom, tap out, done. That would have been an awesome finish.
I feel like if they really wanted to distribute Dusty, they would have pulled some kind of a Dusty swerve, and right before the final started, William Regal would have come out and been like, gentlemen, I just had a thought here. To really prove with us being a tag team, why don't we make this an elimination tag team match?
Yeah, but
I thought that would have been cool.
But yeah, like I said, I like this match. I think one of the reasons they didn't do that is Samoa Joe, like you mentioned, Marcus, might win with a submission. I don't think they want Corbin or Rhino to tap out, as they're both being built as these strong brawlers.
That is true.
Corbin maybe not, but have him tap out Rhino or something, because you don't lose anything by having Rhino tap, and it's not like Rhino hasn't tapped to Samoa Joe before.
Yeah, but you do have something lost by Rhino doing that, because as you yourself put it, Rhino is essentially the veteran there to help out for the star power name. It's like you don't want to see Brock Lesnar tap out week after week, or you don't want to see him tap out. You want to see Brock destroy. That's why even when Undertaker put Brock in a submission move, he did the flip off and passed out.
Yeah, which was awesome.
And then we move on to and I don't know if we should call it this, but the 30-minute Iron Man match. Shouldn't it be the Iron Woman match? But the NXT Women's Championship.
It's up. Well, I just wanted to ask before did you want to mention the tournament presentation and celebration?
You can mention that if you want.
It is known after this match as Finn Balor and Samoa Joe celebrated in the ring. A couple of lovely ladies came out with a nice trophy and brought them, as did the Rhodes brothers, and Cody was actually Cody Rhodes and not Stardust, just in a gray suit. And Goldust was there without his makeup; he was just Dustin. And they got in the ring, and Cody gave this also, and Eden was there, his wife, of course, who was the ring announcer for the match. And Cody got out.
It was his mother who brought out the.
Was that Dusty's wife? Okay, I was wondering if that was her.
I assume so.
I thought you hadn't seen it. I thought you hadn't seen that bit. My bad. I keep forgetting that you'd seen it. I thought you hadn't watched the pay-per-view because it was last week, but I was like, oh yeah, you watched it today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep. But and then they presented the award, and Cody got a microphone and gave this speech where he basically said, our father was a great man. He all these years he stood for this. He believed in the company. And he believed in NXT. He said once, we were, looking at the NXT guys, the guys up on Raw. He once said, give me 20 minutes on a Superstation, we'll take them down. And basically, it was, how, just remember, you've basically allowed our family to, be in front of you for all these years, and we just want you to know that you are a part of our family. You are all Rhodes. And that was pretty awesome.
Yep, that was pretty cool. But then, yeah, like I said, we have the Iron Woman match, as I would call it, for the NXT Women's Championship.
That's what it should have been called. Damn sexist.
They did chant Iron Woman. I also loved that that Bayley came out in red and gold because Iron Man. I was like, that's cool. I approve.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, this was a hell of a match. Definitely main event.
And this match, I thought it was okay.
I like this match.
I like the match too.
I thought it was okay. I thought it wasn't even the best women's matchup they had there, or of the week.
Which is fair.
True, like technically speaking, yes. Like in terms of the technicality in the ring and in terms of, stuff like that. But this match had heart, and this match, the one thing it did very well was tell a story.
Yeah.
The story of Bayley and Sasha and the emotionality of that story. And also, and I love this, for better or for worse, I love that WWE did this. They also tied in the emotional sort of real life story of Bayley's like #1 fan thing. And I was like, that's kind of cool that they tied that into it. And there was a lot of emotionality into it. And those ladies, they left everything in that ring. And they did a great job of telling that story. And they weren't afraid to go, basically over the line to tell that story. Sasha was not afraid to be, evil she-bitch. Because she knew Bayley was going to win, so she knew at the end it would all work out, and it wouldn't be as bad as if she became evil she-bitch and then won, that would have been terrible, in terms of the emotionality part. But knowing going into it that, okay, Bayley's going to retain it, she basically had carte blanche to basically go full-on boss mode and fuck Bayley up, which she did.
And they also,
of course, they trusted each other because they've wrestled with each other enough, that they trust each other to do that and not fuck it up.
Yep. The end result was Bayley wins, and as I've mentioned to Jim, there was articles of people complaining about this very thing. Once again, the Divas start crying at the end of their match.
Yep.
What's the problem with that?
The fact they do it every time on NXT now, like every time the women have a great match, they make them cry at the end. Like even Charlotte's been doing it on Raw, whereas you don't see like, oh, Brock Undertaker just had a great match. Undertaker's now going to break down crying, hugging Brock as they both just cry and weep in the ring. No, because they're athletes, they don't have to do that. But for the women, it's making them look weak. That every time they do anything that's slightly good, they cry out of complete shock that they were useful.
Yeah, and
that's what's wrong with it.
Yeah, let's be honest. In the guys' case, they busted out for really big things like "I love you, I'm sorry." That warranted tears. But yeah, they do it way too much with the Divas.
Yeah, I have no problem with them doing it now and again. Like if Bayley wins the title, falls to her knees, holding the belt with tears in her eyes because she's so happy to win it, like Kurt and stuff have done, brilliant. But if every Divas match, whenever they do this, keeps ending the same way, it starts to seem like each one of those tears isn't genuine. It just robs all the emotion out of it.
It does, although I feel that this match warranted the tears for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a freaking Iron Man match. When's the last time we had one of those? That was a 30-minute effort on their part. Number two, it was the main event of what was effectively a pay-per-view for them. Again, a big deal. Number three, it was barely proving that victory over Sasha wasn't a fluke, showing what she could do in the ring, that she did deserve to be the NXT Women's Champion. And on the flip side, I like that they did this. At the end of the match, Triple H and Stephanie, the whole roster came out and they gave them flowers. And I like how Sasha, after losing, made her way up the ramp and then fell down and was crying through her hair as Stephanie tried to hand her the flowers. I realized it was big for Sasha too, because I think that was, for all intents and purposes, Sasha's official graduation to the main roster. She didn't win the NXT Women's title back. She's unless it's for a cameo, she's probably not coming back to NXT. So that was, that's a place that's been her home for years now, and that was an emotional thing for Sasha to realize, I'm done with NXT. This is my final night, in front of these people at Full Sail University, and so I can understand the emotion in her as well, knowing that that was a home that she was kind of losing from this person to move on to bigger and better things. I can understand her being very emotional about that too. And when she started, and that's why I like that they did that.
I can, but I put it to you. What did Triple H say during the NXT Takeover thing?
I don't know, what did he
He
say?
didn't say anything.
During the NXT Takeover, well, what do you call it, roundtable discussion that's on the WWE Network right now, I thought everyone's going to check out, Triple H even mentions when Sasha wins the title, in real life, she was pretty much ready to bust up crying. However, because she has so much respect for that title and for wrestling, she didn't bust out crying. She took the belt. There was just a little bit of emotion there, and she just carried on going full boss mode till she went behind the curtain, then did it. So she stayed looking strong, and so it did everything that she wanted and everything she respected about the business.
But the difference is Sasha was a heel, so she was trying to stay in character. As a face, I feel that as a face, you can break down crying and it still
face.
works.
Hello?
What's that?
She's not face.
Bailey's a face.
Bailey is, but Jim was on about it was emotional for Sasha. That's why Sasha was emotional and crying at the end of it.
Yeah, because it was her farewell. It was also like the end of their feud, I feel. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, the two best friends now parting ways.
I tell Bailey it's over to the main roster and they renew it for ratings. But
yeah, which like I said, that was my point of. It's sort of like, and there's not many things Jim can relate to, so I'll just use Disney. When everyone's special, no one is.
Yeah.
If every match is emotionally worth crying at the end for the divas, none of them are emotional because we don't know which ones are genuine.
Which is fair enough, but I like this match right here. I think there's more than because this one felt like it was one of those matches where it's transcending the kayfabe.
Yeah, it was a special match. I mean, when's the last time you saw like the entire locker room coming out to give a Divas match a standing ovation? Seriously.
The last takeover when they did it to celebrate Bailey.
Did they come out for that one?
Yes, everyone started coming out and raising her up and stuff when she won.
I think that was just the horsewomen, though. I don't think that was everybody else.
I thought it was just them. Could be wrong, but still,
Yeah.
like I get the feeling that it's not WWE really making them cry. I get the feeling most of it is genuine emotion, which is fine. And like Jim said, this one kind of warranted it. Bailey winning the title for the first time warranted it. Charlotte winning, the Divas title, whatever, for the first time warranted it. It's like, it may seem like they're doing it with every Divas match, but it seems like it's like every big one, which works, especially when it's all the faces. As a heel, you kind of don't want to do that. You don't want to break the kayfabe, but as a face, I feel it's okay. Also, Triple H has no right to complain about that if he does.
I didn't say he complained. I never once said he complained.
Okay, well, I didn't know if he did or not, but
No, he said he came out to give Sasha the title. He expected her to do that crying. He thought this was going to make great TV. And then when she got to the back, that's when she did it. And he's like, "Why didn't you give me this out there? Can people please start giving me this out there?"
And you're questioning why it happened tonight?
Yeah, but I'm just questioning why it always happens. That was my point.
Because Triple H wants to know why they're not giving it to him out there. He wants it out there.
I just brought it up because, like people said, it was very emotional for her because it might be her last night there. Big Show might have had his last match with Brock Lesnar. Did you see him crying and hugging Brock at the end?
No, I'm pretty sure he was too busy no-selling Brock's attack.
And how long's WWE been Big Show's home?
Yep. But there was no build-up to that potentially being the last match. People know, Big Show's not going anywhere. And for Sasha, it was a big, because she's leaving with one thing to go to the next promotion. It wasn't like she was leaving the company. That would have been a bigger thing, but it's just, she's moving up to the, it's one of those things where, you're a newbie and you're working your way up. It's kind of a big deal. Yeah, when you've been doing it for 20 years, it's not that big a deal anymore. But when you've been there for 5 years, this kind of thing's happening, it's a big deal.
It is,
I would also say
but I also make the case Adrian Neville didn't do that in his last match.
I would say I think
Kevin Owens.
I think there's.
Yeah, but his last match wasn't he carted off on a stretcher.
Can I get a word in, please? Jesus Christ.
Then why'd you keep saying stuff as people are talking?
I'm not.
You are on our end.
Yeah.
On our end, you wait until we speak and then start going and then yelling at us.
Fucking lag. Because on my end, I keep trying to cut in. after you guys are done talking, like between you guys talking, trying to make a point here.
Well, go ahead, make your point. You have the floor.
What I was trying to say is I think there's different expectations, as wrong or right, there's different expectations for a male superstar than a female superstar, and I think it's more accepted for a female superstar to show emotion in emotional times, like, winning the title, or, you know, being the first ever, like, Divas Iron Man match in however long. I don't know if there ever was one. There probably was, but and however long, main eventing, like everything that culminated in this night, totally, deserves the emotion that it got. And I think it's more accepted if a diva does it than if a superstar would do it. Winning your first Divas title, winning your first women's title, or ending this great feud and feeling really good about the match, but ending this great feud with like your best friend or something, which they did tonight. It's more accepted, whereas because manly men don't cry, it's less accepted if you see a man out in the ring crying, which is why they usually reserve that for like little once in a lifetime things or truly special things. Very rarely will you see a superstar cry unless it's absolutely warranted. But I think that's because of expectation.
And that was my point, is they're trying to build up the divas as being equal. There's this divas revolution, and I will admit, it does feel a little sexist that at the end of any big divas match they have to cry because women are weak and must show tears.
But that's the thing, is I don't think they have to cry. I think they choose to cry, and I think it's, if you feel this emotion, if you want to cry, do it. Don't feel that you have to hold back, is what Triple H is saying. If you don't feel you have to show the emotion, then don't. But if you do feel the emotion, go ahead and do it, because it's only going to make you look better in the eyes of the people and the fans and stuff. It makes for, good emotional TV, and, it's like, we're going to let you have your moment. If you want to have your moment, is all they're saying. I don't think they're saying you must do this.
And as I also mentioned to you, though, Triple H also said during that thing that he was giving props to Sasha for not doing that and sticking to guns and staying in character and being that professional.
Which is fine.
Yeah, which I'm just making the case of, it just seems bad that it's every women's one. And I know for a fact Charlotte wouldn't keep crying all the time about that, because she didn't cry when she won her first NXT title. But then suddenly, when she wins the Divas title, a title she's gone on record as saying she doesn't like, she cries. And she cried the night before when she thought she won it. Really? And she cried the same way when she thought she won it as when she actually won it, and you're telling me that they're both genuine responses?
Okay, that one maybe not.
Yeah, and that's my point. They keep doing it.
Well, like I said, I think it comes down to the different expectations, and I think they're trying to play those cards because it's more accepted for women than men. Right or wrong, that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, and I'm just saying it's wrong, and it feels a little sexist how much it keeps happening, but it's fine.
Which is fair enough, but I don't think that should take away from this match, because I think it was totally, completely warranted with this match, and it did get emotional at the end for everybody. So it worked, and I don't think it was going too far. I don't think, for this match it was wrong to do. I felt it was right to do, and I felt it was right because of the relationship that they had, that Bayley and Sasha had, which you saw in the previous title match when Bayley first won the title. It's because they have that special kind of bond. They were able to play off that. They were able to use it, and it was genuine. And it's like, okay, that works.
See, to me, it doesn't feel genuine when, as you even said, they did the same thing last time.
Not the exact same thing. Last time Sasha got in the ring,
and she was
whatever, and she was crying.
And she was crying as her three other females come out crying. They all get Bayley. They do the 4 horsewomen sign, and they're all like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening!" And then it happens again. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, but But this time, Sasha didn't just break down crying. She was holding on to it. Only when she got up the ramp and Stephanie was there with the flowers did it completely hit her, and she just lost it. And it works. And, I think there was genuine in there. Did she play it up a little bit for TV? Maybe, maybe not. But the emotion she was feeling was genuine, and you could tell it was.
Fair enough. I'll just say I couldn't tell it was. I felt it was staged as fuck. And I just didn't feel it was genuine. I was just like, oh, okay, this is happening again.
Fair enough. I still feel it was a great match, though, and it was definitely main event worthy. It was a hell of a match.
I thought it was an okay match in terms of quality. It wasn't the best, but it's not the worst I've seen. It was better than the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yep, but that was Takeover.
Indeed.
Respect. And next week will be Hell in a Cell. So, yeah. See ya. There we go.